Hi everyone. So I've been showing you how to break down a chicken, and now we're going to work on our first dish, the Chicken Cacciatore. So first we're going to start with the marinade. And for the marinade I've got some chopped fresh rosemary, I've got some crushed garlic, I've got some dried oregano and a little bit of salt and pepper and some olive oil on the chicken. So we put the chicken into the bowl and just add a little bit of olive oil in there. And then basically we just throw everything in together. A little bit of pepper. I'm not going to put the salt in, I'll put the salt in later on. So we're going to make sure that all that's massaged in, that there's a bit of marinade covering everything. Once we're happy with that, we'll just bung in the fridge for a couple of hours. Okay, so our chicken's been marinating for 2 hours. You can leave it overnight if you want for that more of a depth marinade on it to get more flavour. But 2 hours is fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to separate the chicken from the marinade. I'm just going to take it out of the bowl and scrape some of the marinade off it. So that garlic and rosemary, just take it off. I'm just going to set the marinade aside for now. I'm going to use it later. I want to coat the chicken with some flour. Now, not too much, but just enough to coat it. And that helps to get a lovely crisp layer on that when we start to fry the chicken off in the pan. Okay, so we get the pan nice and smoking hot. I'm going to use rapeseed oil in this, and the reason I'm using rapeseed oil and not olive oil is rapeseed oil is a higher flash point, which means when it reaches a certain temperature it doesn't start smoking and burning like olive oil does. So I want to get a really high seal on this chicken. I want to get the salt on it before we add it to the pan. And you can see that smoke, the oil starting to smoke now. It's a perfect temperature to get this on now. Skin side down first. Gets a nice crisp on it. I can smell the lovely rosemary, garlic and oregano already on this. So when the chicken's sealing, I'll just talk through the rest of the ingredients I have for the cacciatore sauce. So we've got some 1 carrot finely diced. I've got 1 medium-sized onion diced, and I've got 1 stick of celery diced. The garlic is already in the marinade, which I'm going to use in here as well. I've also got 2 sprigs of rosemary. I've got some pureed tinned tomatoes. Glass of red wine. Now, white wine's in the recipe, but if you're in lockdown, you're struggling to get ingredients like I am at the moment, red wine will work just as well. And then we have a little bit of olives and basil to finish it off. So you can see the chicken starting to seal nicely. Alternatively, if you're gluten free, if you're celiac or gluten intolerant, you can always do it without, but you can use gluten free flour as well. Okay, so I'm just going to take these off now. And to the same pan, I'm just going to add a little bit more rapeseed oil. I'm going to add in the onions. I'm going to add in the celery. And I get the carrots in there as well. I'm just going to turn the temperature down a little bit. Let that saute away for about 5 minutes. Now I'm going to add what's left from the marinade. So that's the lovely garlic, oregano, and lovely chopped rosemary in there. So add a little bit more salt. A pinch of pepper in there as well. Salt will actually help the vegetables caramelize a lot better as well. Okay, so we've been splitting that off there for 5 minutes. You can see it's starting to get nice and caramelized. Starting to release its aromatics. I'm just going to bring the heat up a bit, get up to full whack. And then I'm going to add in the red wine. Now we just let that reduce because it's the flavour we want. It's the flavour of that grape, it's the flavour of that wine we want in the sauce. I'm just going to throw in the sprigs of rosemary and keep them whole. And once you get down to, you can see it's just getting below halfway is reduced. You can add in the tomato. The salad works just as fine, or you can get tin tomatoes, puree them, or you can even get some really nice ripe vine tomatoes and puree them as well. I'm going to bring this to the boil. I'm going to add the chicken back to the pan, reduce the heat, and let that simmer for about an hour. Okay. So we've been simmering this at a low heat now for 45 minutes. And you can see the lovely colours coming in there. So the chicken, when the chicken's cooking in sauce, the flavour of the sauce goes into the chicken and the flavour of the chicken goes into the sauce. So you have this lovely harmonious balance in this dish at the moment. And the smells are just crazy. But next step for this now is we're going to add in the olives. So you've got 100 grams of olives in there. Again, in the recipe, it's black olives that go into this. Again, we're locked down, just struggling with to get the proper ingredients that I want. I've also going to throw in the basil. I'm not going to chop the basil, I'm just going to tear it. Tear it and put it through. So there's about 50 grams of basil there, small pack. Now, this is something I do in lockdown. Is like at the start I was buying loads of stuff and I bought these herbs, and you know the way you can get the herbs in the pots, you take them, you use them, then you're stuck with the pot. Well, I just took them out of pots and I put them into a windowsill pot and they keep growing. And so this is my second batch of herbs now over the last 5 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever we are into this lockdown now. So I'm just going to really turn that down now. Now, if you're in Italy and you're making cacciatore there, they would simmer this for 2 to 3, even 4 hours, a really low heat until the chicken is just falling off the bone. And you want to check if it's cooked. You just go in there, go into the bone, and if you see the bone's white, pale, dry, and there's no red, you know it's cooked. That looks lovely and juicy. So, I think we're good to serve. I've got some spaghetti. I'll take that out. Now you can serve the cacciatore with anything. You can serve potatoes, rice, any type of pasta you like. The spaghetti is always a favourite. Just going to put it in the bowl. Turn this off. Get some of that lovely extra virgin olive oil in there. Get tossed up. Now I'm just going to bring this into the camera. You can see the sauce is really thickened. It's going through a paste. You can see it's really reduced down there. The lovely colour on that chicken. Guys, the smells of this is just unreal. You can plate this individually or you can put it in platters. It's up to you how you want to do it. I'm just going to put it for a platter for 2. Loads of spaghetti. Now, I'm going to arrange this here. Thigh, drumstick, thigh and a drumstick. Then just some of the sauce for over. I'm just going to grate some parmesan on top.